I'm going to let you ask a question because I promise I will. And I let everyone ask a question today. However, your guides are quite insistent that they want first to talk to you about your work. And it may be a new thing that you want to do, or a new direction that you want to head, or something that you want to add to your work. Okay. Or it might be your other job, but whatever it is, the answer is just do it. Okay. So before you ask me the question, the answer is do it. Just do it. Okay. So now ask me your question.
Well, it's kind of along those lines. So, um, I actually wrote my question out to be clear and concise.
Okay.
So I am currently in a life phase where I've been handed another big T trauma,
Okay.
um, about a month and a half ago with my kids. So it relates to my role as a parent, and this trauma manifested almost like within 2 weeks of me finally taking my 20 years of collecting my energy certifications and energy work, and bringing that. I had already had it calendared to bring it into the public eye and give my very first talk after Darren's class. And and so this trauma happened,
Mm-hmm.
right along that same time. And I did get a very, very clear, powerful sign that I'm on the right path with, this aspect of myself and taking it into more of a business, and more widespread service, opportunity for me.
People are responding to you. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You put it out there and you're not having to go like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I mean, I got a very clear, because I did ask for a sign, and I got a very, very clear, like 100% sign.
yeah.
However, it's hard to ignore this recent trauma. Like I had a plan and I was like, okay, I'm calendaring this.
Okay.
I'm gonna do practice sessions. I'm gonna get myself to a place where I can feel like I can turn this into a business. And
Okay.
then this happened. So what I'm grappling with right now is, I'm wondering what my guides say is the purpose of this additional fun phase that
They're
just,
good. They're good. They're ready. Are you ready?
yes, it's hard
Okay.
for me to not use it as a point of doubt.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but they are very clear. They are saying to me, they started answering before you started talking. So that's why my face was. They want to know that you've had many lifetimes where your personal ambitions and goals, or things, or even like soul ambitions and goals. So like things that you wanted to accomplish were at odds or seemed to be in odds with caregiving needs. Okay. And this is not a new conundrum. This is not a new situation. It's one that you've had in many lifetimes. Okay. You felt that. And they're showing me one in particular where you were a priest. Okay. You were a priest and you had this desire for this new initiative, and it was going to be pretty transformative, and it was going to be in support of women. It was going to be in support of women that had been, we wouldn't use the term now abused, but women who had been disenfranchised. And so they might have been like prostitutes, like people that had, it's not that, it's, they'd been disenfranchised, but in a way that you thought was unfair. Okay. They'd been unfairly disenfranchised by society. They might have been, impoverished or prostitutes, or left their husbands, or abandoned, or unwed mothers. That's the big one that's really coming through. A lot of them were that, but they'd been disenfranchised, and you wanted to bring them back into the fold of the church. And you wanted to give them, this was the way that they thought of it at the time, like a path to redemption, a way to kind of come back, and not because there was something wrong, but because you believed that every soul had a right, and you just didn't. Every human had a right, every soul had a right to come home and to like find their way back to into the fold of the church and to God, and to be like held and loved and esteemed. Okay. And so you had this mission and purpose. Okay. And you wanted to do this, and you were very, very true to it, and you were making a lot of progress, and you were like standing up for yourself. But I see one woman, and and the woman came forward. She was an unwed mother, and she came into your fold, and I believe she was a plant. Okay. And she accused you
Yeah. Mhm.
of or was going to accuse you. And I don't even think she was a plant. I think she was unwell of being the father of her child. You were not. You were like a priesty priest, and celibacy wasn't a problem for you. Like that just wasn't. It was never a conflict in your life. You were very very clear on like what you were here to do. But this had this conundrum because and maybe even you stepped forward and said that you, I can't really remember what it was, but in order to protect her and care give her, you kind of let go of the mission. You let go of the whole mission. I think that there was somebody very abusive. It was a very tricky thing. It was someone high in power, and she would have gotten harmed. And unfortunately, I think that she was very unwell. And in the end, um, you had to kind of make a choice where you were kind of, you had to give up the whole thing. Maybe I don't think you ever said that you fathered the child, but whatever you did, it put the whole thing in doubt to protect this one woman that you cared about. Okay. She might have even been related to you, but I don't know. It was more of a political thing. And you just like, it was in some ways the right choice in that lifetime, but a part of you felt like a part of you felt like maybe it wasn't the best choice, that you let go of so much potential, right? To care for this one person that you felt responsible for some reason. Right. And I think even is just the attention and stuff that your program got and everything got the attention of someone, and and to protect her, you put the whole thing away. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you kind of feel this now. You kind of feel this now that, I have to protect and take care of the weakest link, right? Before I can move forward with my task.
Mm-hmm.
And your guides say no. Your guides say it wasn't necessary then, and it isn't necessary now. And even at that time, there was a lot of manipulation going on from this woman, from the person that this was Roman times, I feel like, but that doesn't make any sense because Catholicism, and did those two things interact? I don't know. But anyway, I'm not usually good with the history, but it feels like that energy. But regardless, that can of worms, they want you to know, is over. And by honoring that and being at that level, you let go of something that could have been helped so many more. And you were trying to help someone that wasn't ready to be helped. And in so doing, you let go of the opportunity to support so many more who were. Okay. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't compromise that now. Okay. And don't believe they say in that body and in this one as well. This is exact words they use. They say it was a false conundrum, meaning it seems like it's an either or choice, but it's not. Okay. And that life, had you continued on the path and done what you thought was best rather than taking the time off and giving all this energy to this one woman, she would not have been better, but she wouldn't have been worse. Okay. So we're going to let her go. And in this body, it's a little bit different because you do have some caretaking needs here, right? You do have some different obligations. Although in that lifetime, you felt like literally obligated to every member of your flock. So you felt the same way, even though it's different. But it's the same thing here, right? The metric by which you are trying to affect change in this individual is failing you. It's failing you. It's not the right metric. And this is words from your guides, because obviously I wouldn't say it like that. And by taking a step back, Meg, and focusing on at least 50-50, doing what you want to do, what you feel called to do, and also this role that you have as a parent, it'll be like unplugging yourself from the old outlet and then plugging yourself into a place that the current can actually run a little bit more smoothly. Does that make sense? Your face says no, but
I'm trying to process it.
Yeah. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to be there, but the bottom line is keep doing the thing. Don't give up. Don't look at this as a sign that you shouldn't be doing the thing that you're doing. Just know that this brought up some of that tension from a past lifetime, because it's around you understanding that sometimes in service of the greatest good, right? We have to pursue our own lives and our own ambition and not let ourselves feel like we're being derailed by the needs of others. Doesn't mean that you can't still show up and do things, but if sometimes when there's a choice between two things, you may find that a little bit more on the what do I want to do right now? What feels right? I have this obligation to this other thing may actually benefit the other person in question.
Hmm.
Okay. I hope
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sending you a bunch of love. And they say too, the level of interest in the offerings that you are given without doing very much work is a testament to you doing more of them.
Okay.
Okay. And then I
Yeah.
think the rest can be a longer conversation and you know where to find me.
Thank you.